This is Classic FM.
Now, I think you're also on record as having said that you like the Pythons.
Yes.
Peter Cook and Dudley Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the sort of British comedians that you really appreciate, or are there others as well?
The Goons, French and Saunders. I'm a huge fan of Harry Enfield and Paul Whitehouse, and the Armstrong and Miller shows. Not as well acquainted with a lot of British sitcoms, but of course Father Ted, we can't stop watching. I grew up being exposed to British comedy as a kid. There was a guy in Los Angeles who played British comedy records, and basically the radio show was a vehicle for him to advertise his shop, where he sold British food and British papers to the expats in Los Angeles. And so willy-nilly, I just became. That was part of the soundtrack of my youth, was hearing first the Goons and then Peter and Dud and all the rest.
Yes. Could you tell me about your show that's about to come on at the Leicester Square Theatre at the end of the month?
Yeah, it started as a party. My wife is a Welsh woman who grew up in London, and when she first came to Southern California, where we lived at the time, she found the notion of Christmas as a sunny, warm event absolutely intolerable, and she wanted to recreate the feeling of, hiding in the house around a fire with friends and family, singing songs and having lots of food and beverages to keep warm. And so we had that party for a number of years with fairly accomplished musical friends, and then one year word got out and we were invited to do it as a show at Walt Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. And ever since then, we've done it as a show that travels the States, and we did it at Festival Hall here a couple of times, and this year we're moving it to Leicester Square Theatre. And in every city, it's our friends from that city. So here we have, I'm going to get the little piece of paper so I don't forget anybody. But it's the wonderful jazz singer Jackie Dankworth.
Yes, she's...
The amazing Rob Brydon, speaking of remarkable
Excellent.
voices, as well as a very funny person. The British comedy treasure Maureen Lipman, with whom I've just been touring in this play.
Yes.
Alex Lowe, better known to a lot of folks as Barry from Watford. The giant of British jazz bass players, Danny Thompson. And a special soulful songstress guest whom we can't name for contractual reasons. And everybody does, as we did at this original party, one or two holiday-themed songs, reverent or irreverent, as is their wont. And then Judith forces the audience to sing Christmas carols.
It sounds wonderful.
With the offering of, as she calls them, crap prizes. And it's the best thing I can say about it. And it's a benefit for the Musicians Clinic of New Orleans. Musicians in America, the American medical system.
Yes,
musicians
yes.
rarely have insurance, so this is a way to keep the New Orleans musical tradition alive, is to keep the musicians alive. And so that's why we do it. But the best thing I can say about it is a guy who saw the show one year we did in Seattle, and he wrote to Judith afterwards. He said, when I heard that my girlfriend was taking me to a Christmas sing-along, I said, well, why not just stick forks in my eyes right now? But he said, after seeing the show, I'm coming every year.
Wonderful. That's a huge tribute. Harry, this has been fascinating. Thank you very much indeed for coming in to talk to me.
My pleasure, Charlotte.
Thank you.
This is Classic FM.